DiRT Showdown isn't so much a sequel to DiRT 3, but rather a spin-off, offering up a host of bite-sized gymkhana-style events that focuses more around eliminator races, destruction, derby, and timed stunt events than traditional racing. But that great host of cars and style is still here in fine arcade form.
What I've always loved about the DiRT series, Hex, is that white-knuckle racing, the dirt track jostle where one false turn can see you ruining the race and spinning off the road. So I was a bit nervous about this one, hearing that the bumper bars have gone up. Showdown focuses on sharing your skills online and trying to set challenges for your friends to top, and I found it lacking a little bit on the excitement front, Hex.
Yeah, it certainly doesn't pack the same punch as the numbered titles in this series, but, you know, I love an arcade racer. Basically, if it doesn't have a boost button, I don't want to know about it. And Showdown is definitely one of the more accessible titles out there, with boosting being pretty much the essential key to winning just about any race.
That's it! Awesome drive!
Even if it doesn't really encapsulate that rally racing joy that you're describing.
Yeah, there is a clever balance with the cars, though, I thought. This is an arcade racer, but they pulled all that wonderful realism in the handling from the other games in the series into this one. And you notice that difference in between events, particularly when you need a car that is more agile for those tight corners and donuts.
I thought the presentation was great, with impressive menus and unlocks that make you feel like you're kicking butt at everything, even when you're not. And the in-game cash system gives you the freedom to spend your winnings wherever you want, because while I did well in certain events,
Sayonara, muchacho!
It did help in some of the knockout sections or trick races where I didn't do so well, because I could pump money into beefing up my car to give myself an edge.
While I love me a bit of Destruction Derby, Hex, there were too many of them early on.
Yeah, I got a bit sick of those as well, especially since they didn't mix up the format at all. I mean, those knockout rounds, for example, would have been way cooler if it was one of those ones where it's like a skyscraper platform and you've got to be the last one left that hasn't toppled to your doom or,
yeah, it's
or
all
something.
crumbling and...
Yeah.
And it's a T-Rex in there to mix
and then
things
rockets
up.
flying from space and then cheerleaders come out and do a dance when you win.
Some Decepticons. I think the Derby rounds all had too few vehicles compared to the races. When I think of a Destruction Derby, I think of things like Motorstorm, where there's all different types of vehicles and semi-trailers and
Smashing into each
motorbikes.
other.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
here it was like, oh, there's a few cars.
Yeah.
All right, they did it!
Also, when it comes to racing games, I feel like I've made my peace with the annoying awesome-tacular announcers.
Perpendicular awesomeness!
While they did get rid of 2 of the awkward announcers from DiRT 3, sadly, our old friend Sir Derpalot returns, and he has some of the worst dialogue we've ever encountered.
What's their problem with doors? Are they scared they're gonna break a nail or something? Nice and juicy T-bone.
I don't know how they released this game with this announcer still in it. It drove us nuts instantly. Imagine how crazy these developers must go hearing this voice all the time. It's not even funny, it's just horrible.
4 cars, 4 carnage.
The events were a bit of a mixed bag, weren't they? Some of them I had a good time with, but there were others that just weren't that good. Such as where you had to smash little walls of coloured blocks. It had 2 painful rounds to complete, and it disqualifies you if you hit the wrong colour out of order.
Yeah, I ended up doing those races so freaking slowly. It was horrible. One of my favourite races were the tracks that were shaped in a figure of 8, meaning you'd be crossing parts of the track that others would be driving on, and this made it rife for some T-bone-alicious mayhem.
Anybody in there?
There's much more fun to be had with this game if you take it online or play split screen with buddies, because most of the events are gymkhana or battle rounds. For me, to enjoy it, it really required that player-to-player competition. Although the AI does a pretty good job of keeping you on your toes, stay still for a moment in a knockout round and you will be rammed.
There's also a kind of free roam mode where you can test out your various cars' moves and some obstacle course tracks with a variety of objectives for you to complete. And for a bit of offline competition, you can set challenges for people on your friends list to try and top.
DiRT Showdown is a spin-off game, and what it spins off, it does well. But if you're not into gymkhana or battle rounds or Destruction Derby type events, then stay clear of this, you won't enjoy it. I did prefer the other games in the series, Hex, but there's no doubt that this is a good-looking game.
Yeah, it has that polish and style that the series is known for, and while I didn't enjoy all of the events, I still had some fun with it. I think there wasn't enough variety here, and, well, not enough game, to be honest. It's a bit of a case of style over substance. substance, and I think most gamers would be better off waiting for the next proper installment in the series. I'm giving it 6 out of 10.
I'm giving it 7.